guys, there were a number of comments and queries since my last video on my final thoughts on Dragon Age Inquisition, and I wanted to take the time to address them all and what have you. Now, at the very, very outset, let me say, for those of you who didn't catch what I've said a couple of times, one of the reasons why I haven't been putting much out on this channel is because I'm waiting. I've been saving for well over a year now for a new computer, a really beastly machine. You can see the specs. It's on another video. Probably will happen in October, hopefully the latest in November. And so that's going to take some time. I don't really want to put out Let's Plays or video material unless I can really do it on a machine that works, because right now processing, rendering takes forever, and it's just hard to coordinate things. And I really need a good machine that can handle processing and rendering quickly, as well as compression, because I'm probably going to have to compress the size of things and so on. So please be patient. I promise I want to do more Let's Plays and video, actual video stuff. And up until then, I'll focus on commentary. I think Joseph Hobbs pointed out that he enjoyed that, and that's what I'm doing here. So more commentary on Dragon Age because it's relevant. And I've been thinking, I think I'm going to just use my shitty laptop and go through another playthrough, maybe try to pick up on some new stuff. Maybe I'll even get the DLC. I don't know. I just want to see after a year of not playing, basically, what I can get from the game and what sort of occurs to me as good or bad or what have you. Now, so that's out of the way, why I haven't been Let's Plays. And by the way, I recently uploaded on my main or bigger channel a video about role-playing and social justice and whatever. And I tend, when I don't go purely gaming, I'll tend to upload on that channel, and I'll be posting a link to that. So if you're interested, click on the link and you can find out more sort of controversial, un-PC, non-politically correct stuff. But anyway, another sub of mine left a comment is, can Bioware be sort of redeemed? And I feel, Bioware has let me down as a person, as an individual. I know other people love Bioware. Can Bioware be redeemed by one DLC? Well, frankly, I haven't played the DLC. I just watched it. And, I heard a lot of things about bugs and certain world states not being transferred over properly, and etc. So I don't really know how to answer the question, can BioWare be redeemed? I don't think so. Ultimately, one DLC cannot correct all of the mistakes of everything else. I think that based on what I've seen, what I observed, the DLC is really good, but there are probably some mistakes in it as well. I heard about technical bugs. I still would have the issue of the flashy warrior combat and what have you. And I think Bioware's got to be consistent. Most people, they're still going to always have frankly speaking, I don't want to talk too much about it on this channel, the social justice aspects to it and what have you, which are annoying. But as far as the lore is concerned, greater exploration of lore, improved combat mechanics, which to me would mean less flash, but we're not going to see that. I don't know. As far as BioWare is concerned, I'm definitely going to give them another chance in the sense of Andromeda. If I'm still around by then, I will probably play it, and I'm very much interested in the, well, frankly speaking, in the multiplayer. Andromeda itself could suck, Mass Effect Andromeda, and as long as multiplayer were good, I think I wouldn't really care much. Because I've come to not expect too much story-wise, although from BioWare, the recent DLC definitely threw a wrench in that, and I'm not sure about that anymore. And so I think I'm just going to do my own little playthrough, probably with a dwarf, because I just kind of play dwarves usually, and see how that goes, and maybe even delve into the DLC, maybe, just to see what I can kind of piece together of BioWare just as a complete picture a year after, kind of having distanced myself from it, having thought about the subject extensively, and maybe occasionally I'll post certain cutscenes that might make sense before the arrival of the new PC. But I don't know. I think ultimately, no. You can't use a single piece of DLC to justify the rejuvenation, as it were, of a company in individual eyes. I mean, a lot of people still like BioWare, but if you feel that BioWare has failed you and has gone down a bad route, then no, I don't think you can take a single piece of DLC and say, here you go, it's all fixed. Even people who are strongly aligned to BioWare, in terms of their political agenda and what have you, felt that the other DLCs were kind of lacking and lackluster compared to Trespasser. So I don't think you need a lot more than this. And I think Andromeda is going to be very telling story-wise. How will they go about things like that? And I think BioWare possibly could have learned lessons. Most people were annoyed by the kind of overly open world they presented. It's not an open world RPG in the sense of Skyrim. You can't wander everywhere. They really veered off course that way. I would actually prefer a much more limited environment with better storytelling elements and better quests, better cutscenes. That's where Witcher 3 really was strong in the cutscenes. So, I'm kind of patiently waiting, thinking, I don't know, but I will possibly do privately my own little playthrough of Dragon Age Inquisition again a year after the fact, more or less, just to see how I feel about it. Actually playing through it. At the time, I felt just kind of really turned off by a lot of the things going on, and now I have some distance. And like I said, maybe I'll occasionally post some scenes as I think they're relevant or particularly telling or good or whatever. So, yeah, so that's pretty much it. Up until I get the new PC, I will be just probably mostly commentaries for the most part. And yeah, as always, thanks for tuning in. And let's hope the PC arrives relatively soon. I'm thinking mid-October at the earliest. Probably more realistic would be late October. And yeah, looking forward to that. Looking forward to playing on a completely different system that's far superior to what I have now. So leave comments in the comment section, and I will respond to you. Everyone take care. Bye-bye.